policy, and I'm doing basically drilling fluids. It's kind of touchable on what Virginia kind of went through. Basically introduction, kind of definition, basic diagram, show you a circulatory flow, functions, importance, why is it needed. Basically a simplified circulation diagram with a cooling system. The cooling system, and then a little conclusion. What is a drilling fluid? It's basically mud, gases, and air. I'm going to focus on mud because it's cool. I know that. They're using different applications, which is not really what I'm talking about, but kind of, it's really in depth, actually. So basically here is your basic oil rig. So your mud's going to come down here. This is like your drill pipe, and this is like actual piping. And the mud's going shooting down out of the drill bit, which, not this one, but the other ones it actually uses to spin the drill bit instead of spinning the whole pipe. And it shoots back up and goes through here, back into the shell shaker to get the cuttings out. And then it's like taking back to the pump and back through. And that can create a lot of heat just from the friction from the drill pipe spinning and the drill bit spinning, and so on and so forth, and just being so low on the ground. So the functions, so use pressure control, cutting removal, as I just said, sealant along the sides, so like your drill ground, the rock is cutting on the sides, basically are fracturing, so you want to like seal it off, so they put chemicals and all that good stuff to seal it off so they don't lose mud. It's really expensive, more than you think, and that kind of makes it flow better, all that reduces friction. Cooling, I'm going to focus on lubrication, which is kind of goes along with cooling. Transmitting hydraulic energy to tools, I can touch up on that in a little bit. Maintaining low horse stability and low control, that's their primary focus. And oil recovery. So it's important. These service companies like Halliburton, Baker Hughes, Schlumberger, so on and so forth, they actually have engineers that are designated just for mud, in terms of mud engineers. So you get paid a lot of money to work with mud, basically. Well horse stability, that's your, your actual hole. Want to regulate the density so you don't have to blow out. Technically, like the BP oil spill, which I have there, wasn't necessarily from the mud, but it can happen. Maintain low more integrity, which is kind of what I'm saying, like, the pressure differential and stuff. So why is cooling needed? Temperatures are in excess of 350 degrees Fahrenheit, I can put that, well over 10,000 psi in some areas. This right here, it's a rotor stator assembly. It's like when mud's being pumped through and they're going horizontal, the actual drill pipe can't spin. Well, I mean it can, but it'd be really bad braking, maybe tripping time. So they pump mud through, and then this rotor stator assembly is called mud motor. It basically turns all the pressure from the mud into the drill bit. So the only drill bit's spinning, and it's pushing through, so it's kind of like going horizontal. And the drill pipe does bend along with it, but it's over broad range. But here is like the heat that's actually generated in this thing, and this is a elastomer, like a rotor elastomer. So that can fail really quickly and expand, and your efficiency decreases. So this is just like a little chart. You definitely want to decrease that so your efficiency goes up, it doesn't break, and all that good stuff. Same thing for the drill bit. You don't want that to break under, whatever, because you have to pull everything out, and that loses money, so on and so forth. So this is basically the same thing above, but just with the cooling system in place. I couldn't find a really good diagram for it. So basically, it's being pumped mud. This is the cool mud going down here, shooting out the drill bit, coming back up is hot. Goes through the filter to take out the cuttings. Then in the cooling system, where it's basically a giant heat exchanger. Then it goes back through. That's basically your cycle. So this is what a cooling system looks like. It's dubbed a mud cooler. This one's actually used offshore than onshore ones, basically a truck. Like I said, what heat exchanger uses convection and conduction to cool mud through air fans, water sprinklers, and copper tubing. And my conclusion, those So they're burning a bunch of diesel while they're running them, but the cost is nothing for what their returns are. They basically lower the mud temperature to 30 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Like I said, it increases the time of tool life, increases the tool efficiency, allows for longer drilling time, which means they don't have to pull out the hole or redo everything, which costs them a lot of money. The longer you're drilling, more money. And that's the whole goal of everything, right? So that's all I got. Any questions?
So why do they use mud instead of some of these liquids that have just
Because they can regulate the density of mud. Like you want going actually down the strip pipe, you want that mud to be a higher pressure or density than it would be like the surface, or not the surface, the rock formation at the bottom, because you want to come back up, the pressure and stuff like that. And then if it was less than it would shoot back up the top, so I have blowout preventers and such. Good. Thank you.